General's lawsuit, case ST20CV00031. You can read it yourself. From 2001 to 2019, that's 18 years, Epstein ran what they called a criminal enterprise. Not just crimes, an enterprise. That's the actual legal term they used. Court filings detail how it worked. Computerized lists tracking young women and girls in the Virgin Islands. Scheduling systems organizing what they internally called sessions, 3 per day, according to the documents. And here's something that comes up repeatedly in court testimony. They use the word work as code. Think about that. Work. According to the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General's lawsuit, case ST20CV00031, you can read it yourself. From 2001 to 2019, that's 18 years, Epstein ran what they called a criminal enterprise. Not just crimes, an enterprise. That's the actual legal term they used. Court filings detail how it worked. Computerized lists tracking young women and girls in the Virgin Islands. Scheduling systems organizing what they internally called sessions, 3 per day, according.
What's going on, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. Brothers and sisters, these Epstein files are a lot worse than what we thought. There's so much coming out right now that we got to unpack. And I'm going to say this. Everything that we thought was true and more. A lot more. Just to list a few things before we get into this. Apparently, Joe Biden been deceased since 2019. And this is according to the files, that there was an actor in the White House. Also, right now we see that Ghislaine Maxwell is refusing to testify, and it looked like they swapped her out too, honestly. I don't know if y'all seen that version of Ghislaine that showed up at court, but that wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell. Allegedly. And then there's a lot more, y'all. There's a lot more. On top of that, y'all know that Trump and Obama been going back and forth about it being aliens. We know that that was a distraction, right? All of a sudden, Obama goes on some unknown podcast and talks about that aliens are real. We already know aliens are real because aliens walk among us. The reptilian shapeshifters are half-breeds. They are the aliens. Epstein is an alien. Donald Trump is an alien. Not only are they illegal aliens to our homeland, but they are actual reptiles. But they're trying to use that to distract us from something. And you know what? We're going to talk about exactly what they are distracting us from when it comes to these files. So I want everybody to lock in, get the likes up. Y'all already know how we do. Y'all know we on point. Let's get to it.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Give it up for yourselves, brothers and sisters. You know, there's a lot of people in the world right now that want us to just let go of the Epstein files. But you all of the truth intelligence community refuse. Why? Because you know the innocent couldn't defend themselves. They were even having their teeth removed so they couldn't bite down. That's how savage it was. They couldn't speak for themselves. They couldn't defend themselves. And we're not going to let go of these files until these public officials start getting public executions. That's how we feel about it. Till then, we're going to pretty much keep our foot on the gas. Now, there's a lot coming out. Some may be conjecture, some may be conspiratorial, but a lot of it is just confirmation that we were right. And what they call conspiracy turns out to be the truth. And it looks like, honestly, brothers and sisters, that Epstein may not even be deceased. That's how real this is. There has been spottings of Epstein living his best life across the pond. So there is a lot that we got to unpack. We're going to be getting into the nitty gritty here because the files are a lot worse than we thought they were. And we got to chop it up, man. There's even information coming out that they were hunting Black people, calling us field crickets. Yeah, that's in the files. So if you have any question, whether or not these people are white supremacists, I mean, look, if they are cannibalizing children then, you know, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're not pro-black. They don't have any type of dignity or humility whatsoever. These are the most deplorable beings out there, you know. They want to throw off these distractions about some aliens when they are the aliens, aka the demons. They are the archons and the shadow beings. They are the reptilian shapeshifters. So that's a joke in itself. Now, Jasmine Crockett, she dropped some truth bombs. We're going to talk about it. We got some sources that we need to go to now. Let's get to it.
Jasmine Crockett dropped this bomb on Trump after Ghislaine Maxwell refuses to testify.
The President of the United States, who is absolutely mentioned in those files, and frankly, we know that he had already been sued prior to him ever entering office, where there were allegations that he sexually molested a child. This is on the record.
Listen to Jasmine Crockett.
So, you know, they're moving accordingly. You know, there's a lot of collusion going on. There's a huge cover up with this wicked cabal as one hand washes the other. So Ghislaine Maxwell she's playing ball. She's playing ball for her freedom. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of things that's coming out right now in Black History Month is coming out on purpose. They're showing you just how vile they are. How many of y'all seen this particular clip right here?
Deborah and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to Deborah.
So apparently this individual with Tourette syndrome, the gentleman down at your lower left-hand corner, he screams out the N-word while Michael B. Jordan and, you know, I forget this other gentleman name. John Davison. No, John Davison is who shouted out the racial slur, while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting an award on stage. Now, they did this on purpose. We got to understand what's happening right now. They're showing you exactly who they are. And then, to add insult to injury, it comes out just a couple days ago that they were hunting our people in these files. So this is just something I want to point out. And look, ladies and gentlemen, by show of ones, everything is going good. Somebody said my screen went out or something like that. Let me know everything is going good by show of ones. And we're just scratching the surface right now. We haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what's going on with these files, y'all.
This is the craziest thing about all this. There are millions of files that are still unreleased. Some of the reasons are because the death, extreme sexual assault. So yeah, keep this in mind. The stuff that they're releasing now isn't even the bad stuff. This is the craziest thing about all this. There are millions of files that are still unreleased. Some of the reasons are because the death, extreme sexual assault. So yeah, keep this in mind. The stuff that they're releasing now isn't even the bad stuff. This is the craziest thing about all this.
Now, it's bad stuff that's being released, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more, y'all. We're just scratching the surface of these files. We're just scratching the surface. The rabbit hole goes deep.
There's a meme going around with Jeffrey Epstein's face on it, and it says, "We will blow the world up before we release these Epstein files." I truly believe that. War is imminent this weekend with Iran.
And it does look like that we may be going into a possible war with Iran. There's an FBI leak that just took place recently where an FBI agent said they plan on bombing Iran February 23rd. Why? Because, listen, they're willing to send the whole world into shock and flames before they let everything come out. I'm telling you right now. There was a black man that was recently hung out here in Georgia. It got very little news coverage. These things happening during Black History Month. We're going to get into the Hunger Games they were playing with our people. They was literally out here playing Hunger Games. And that was Trump's buddy, thick as thieves. So when you see him, you know, hanging with certain individuals because of, you know, celebrating Black History Month, just understand that Trump was thick as thieves with Epstein. That's right. Hebrew Care shares Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Absolutely. This is a spiritual warfare, y'all. Peep this.
This is all to divert from this one man's image. There's a meme going around with Jeffrey Epstein's face on it, and it says, "We will blow the world up before we release these Epstein files." I truly believe that. War is imminent this weekend with Iran. This is all to divert from this one man's image. There's a meme going around with Jeffrey Epstein's.
Yeah, it's the whole industry, y'all. More and more names are coming out. Just recently, they arrested Prince Andrew. And I'm going to tell you, we got to break down the numerology and symbolism behind that too, because it's all the show. It's all smoke and mirrors. There should be mass arrests taking place right now. But even that was a plot. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But it's the whole industry, every facet of it. They've been telling us all along what they're into through film and all.
The Epstein Files in Disney movies. In Peter Pan, he takes the kids to an island where he's obsessed with youth and never growing up. In Pinocchio, the man says he's collecting little boys to bring to Pleasure Island. Where they do adult things, they turn into donkeys and he sells them into slavery. In Monsters Inc., they scare the children to get their energy for their own energy. What does that look like in that yellow tube? In Tangled, the old lady steals a baby so she can stay young. In Hocus Pocus, the old witches steal a child's life to stay young. And it says this at the end of the movie Enchanted. The Epstein Files in Disney movies. In Peter Pan, he takes the kids to an...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is why the Most High has to judge this satanic Babylonian infrastructure. These people are Moloch worshipers and Satanists, and they believe that they got to use fear, death, anarchy, chaos to extrapolate the energy from the innocent. And that's what they've been doing. Blink Twice was about the Epstein's Island. It's real. Now they also got more stuff coming out in these files talking about that they have genetically modified black people to be smarter. Certain black people to be smarter. They are making clones. This is what they're claiming in these files. All kind of erroneous claims. All kind of just what we would believe to be, what we would perceive as some type of sci-fi is the reality of the situation. I'm telling you.
Obama goes on some random podcast that nobody's ever heard of and just happens to drop, "Oh, aliens are real." Yeah. Tell me that shit's not fucking orchestrated. Right in the middle of the biggest pedophile ring exposed in the fucking world. All of a sudden, we're gonna drop that aliens are real. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Now, we already know who the aliens are. We know who the aliens are. We know. Listen, there is testimony of women that Epstein allegedly violated that said that they seen him shapeshifting. These people cannot be humans. We know exactly who they are. They are half-breeds. Elon Musk ain't human. Bill Gates ain't human. And I'm going to say this, shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the unvaxxed. Shout out to all y'all because y'all didn't take health advice from satanic cabal of PDF files. Shout out to y'all. And if you did, don't let it happen again, because they are planning another one. Don't let it happen again. They are planning another one. Yeah, we know these people are skinwalkers. They eat humans, y'all. They eat them. They experiment on them. They're not humans. They're not human. They are the aliens. That's the plot twist. That's the plot twist.
All right, guys, we have some big breaking news. The United Kingdom has now made its second arrest connected to Jeffrey Epstein's network. This morning, British police arrested this guy, Peter Mandelson, who was the former UK ambassador to the United States, one of the highest level diplomatic positions in the world. He was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, so a similar charge to what they arrested Andrew for. Now, to be very clear about what that means, he is being investigated for allegedly passing sensitive government information to Jeffrey Epstein roughly 15 years ago, back to around 2011 or so. So basically what we have is a senior government official allegedly sharing privileged information with Epstein post-conviction. Now, this comes just 4 days after the nonce Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was also arrested on suspicion of a similar offense tied to his relationship with Epstein. So, in less than 1 week, the UK has now made 2 arrests connected to Epstein. 2. Do you guys want to take a guess how many we've made here in the United States?
0.
Right where Epstein lived and ran everything out of? Well, if you guessed 0, you would be right. So it's UK 2, US 0, even though this is where he trafficked girls, where his operation was based, and where many of his most powerful connections existed. There have been no comparable arrests to government officials tied to these document releases. None. Kind of makes you wonder, why is the UK making arrests while the US isn't? Because Epstein didn't operate in London, he operated here. And these arrests signal something important. Authorities are no longer just acknowledging that powerful people knew Epstein, they're now investigating whether powerful people helped him. And this may be only the beginning, at least for them. As a nation, we're just going to continue to protect those who harm kids. Anyways, make sure to comment your thoughts on this and hit that follow so you can stay up to date as more information comes out.
That's because accountability is not what they're aiming for. They're trying to desensitize the public. That's what they're doing. They're making Moloch worship a household understanding. That's what they're doing right now. It is a method of desensitizing the public. It's programming going on without accountability. That's what's happening. And they don't plan on making any arrests, but this thing is going to boil over. The Most High is going to judge these people, and it's coming soon. We know we're at the end. We know we are there. We know we are there. Because all of this, the wickedness, the perversion, the sin, everything that was done in the dark is now coming to the light exactly how the Bible prophesied it. It's now coming to the light.
The next 5 to 10 years for the next pandemic, we'll solve all those problems.
You say the next pandemic, there will be another pandemic.
Absolutely. We don't know when. The risk per year, 2%, 3%.
The next pandemic, and there will be one. There will absolutely be an outbreak of another pandemic.
We definitively will have to face other surprises, black swans, as they are called, maybe different kinds of viruses.
But also there will be a surprise outbreak.
Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
There will be certainly what we call the black swans, the unpleasant surprises which will come in our way.
The next 5.
See, they're telling you exactly what it is. And absolutely, they will be punished for it. Isaiah 3:11, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given to him. Listen, everything they're doing is going to just curse their offspring and destroy them. The righteous, we're going to be saved through all of this. But they are making plans. See, the wicked are going to be able to be misled out of fear like they were before. It ain't nothing new under the sun. The devil don't have no new tricks. What you're going to see happen is people going to fall for the same thing over again. And once it happens, those who are a part of the truth intelligence community, we ain't going to have no choice but to truly understand just how strong the delusion is. And it's going to be like that TV show that comes on Netflix, The Last of Us. And that show is about the remnant, the people who prepare, the people who practice communal living, the people who was doing what it is they needed to do, and everybody else would be what? Zombies. Zombies. Because at this point, if you're going to listen to this pipsqueak or any of these multimillionaires or billionaires who are in head of any of these corporations, although we know that they all practice pederasty, we know they all sick, we know they reptilians, we know they're demons, we know that they're the real monsters, the weirdos and freaks. But if you take heed to anything that they put out, any campaign they put out, and you fall for it, you gotta be a zombie. You gotta be a zombie. You just gotta be. And they talking about Prince Andrew. They arrested Prince Andrew. Let's get into some of the details about that.
And away we go. So Prince Andrews has been arrested in relation to the Epstein files. Welcome to the show. And when I say show, it's literally all for show, because how is it that he gets arrested on his 66th birthday when 6 police cars show up to arrest him? Not to mention, he was born in 1960, and 60 years ago, England wins the World Cup in the year, you guessed it, 1966. Now, he's already bailed out of jail, so what does this mean? It means it's all Masonic theater, it's all a show, but it's also a distraction. But from what, you ask? Well, for starters, maybe the fact that Obama confirms that aliens are real on some podcast that I've never seen or heard from before in my life. Then a reporter asked Trump about Obama's alien statement, which he actually accidentally confirms.
Aliens are real. Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. Well, he made a big mistake.
Now, here's what's really...
He's talking about classified information when the Epstein files are out, and we finding out that all the world leaders are Satanists and Moloch worshipers who cannibalize people for adrenochrome. And they're trying to distract us with aliens being declassified. Listen, we've been knew that they were aliens. Not only are they the aliens, but we know that they also work with other Nephilim, fallen angels. And I'm gonna say this, we're gonna go here for a minute about these fallen angels, just for a second. I'm gonna continue the video. Listen, the Nephilim come in all shapes and sizes. When you read those scriptures, when you go into the book of Enoch and various extra biblical texts, they wasn't just giants. They were normal sized people. They were dwarfs. They were elves. They were fairies. And they were giants. And they were renowned men too. So don't think for a second that this stuff is not real. It's all throughout the scriptures. Old school rules. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. It says Jeremiah 30:23. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the heads of the wicked. That's right. And their judgment is coming. They can't get away with this sickness for too much longer before the Most High judges them. And we're going to have front row seats.
Weird about this whole alien situation. Right after Obama made that statement, this happened where several people reported a fireball streaking across the sky outside of Las Vegas. Also in that interview, Obama said he doesn't think aliens are being held at Area 51, in which that's exactly where it's located, right outside Las Vegas. And if that's the case, where nothing is in Area 51, then why is there massive security all around Area 51? They're just guarding nothing? And remember when I showed you guys this not too long ago, where the Bank of England was warned of a potential financial collapse due to alien disclosure? Now, this warning comes from the former Bank of England analyst Helen McCall, who says if the White House officially confirms the existence of aliens, the global economy could face catastrophic disruption. How would you come to that random conclusion unless you had some type of insider information to their plans?
Yeah, it's a plan. I mean, everything is coming out now. Luke 12:2-3. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be known. And of course, they planned it in advance. Of course, they had to come with a deflection. Trump comes out to the media, says that was disclosed information, which is actually just reaffirming that there's aliens. Trump didn't even have to comment on that. We already know these things. Look, some of us didn't see them in our backyards growing up. Not actual aliens, but we done seen the UFOs. We done seen the lights in the sky. Look, we've been seeing this forever. We've been knowing this for a long time. Our ancestors knew that there were chariots in the sky at night. Matter of fact, if we didn't have street lights and high-rise buildings and skyscrapers and all of what we got going on, we would see it a whole lot more. And these are not necessarily some intergalactic beings that we're seeing. That's not what aliens are, because first of all, there's a firmament over the earth. There's a firmament. If you want to be technical, a lot of these so-called aliens are actually coming out of the water. Yeah, they're coming out of the water. They're coming out of caves. They're coming out of the woods. They walk among us. What you think Men in Black is about? Men in Black is real. There's actual entities that walk among us. Y'all, some of y'all seen them. Some of y'all know when somebody ain't human, ain't all the way right. Why? They smell like sulfur. How many of y'all been around these entities? You've been in a highly concentrated area and you know that they don't smell right, they don't look right, their aura is off. Yeah, look, none of this is new. Yeah, they are not intergalactic, they're interdimensional beings. They're not intergalactic, they're interdimensional. We know that to be real. They want you to think there's some planets all the way somewhere else and they breaking in and out of the firmament. No, they're not intergalactic. They're interdimensional. In case you don't know, I don't want to get too sci-fi with y'all because y'all know I can go there, but there's portals. There's portals, inorganic portals all over the world, all over different parts of the world, and you can find this out biblically. So, like, they telling us stuff that we already know. Yeah, somebody said they are interdimensionally musty. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yep, it's real talk.
I don't know, you guys. It seems like they're drip feeding us information on purpose, setting us up for Project Bluebeam, which is a fake alien invasion. Or at the very least, giving us alien disclosure.
That's a good theory that he just came up with. It could definitely be they're trying to put in the use of Project Bluebeam. Most definitely. Faking an alien invasion. They've been trying to do that for some years now. Yep, there's stargates. There's actual stargates. So, yeah, there's a lot of portals all over the place. I mean, what do you think CERN is? CERN is a portal. They use CERN to talk to these interdimensional beings, Nephilims. Pretty much, they use that to speak to them. This is real. Why else would they be spending all this money on these programs? Somebody said Bluebeam. What's that? That's a holographic. It's a holographic mirroring technology that they plan on using, where they can make it look like it's the second coming. They can make it look like something is really coming out the sky using mirrors and using pixelations and all of that. That's what Project Bluebeam is. And they spent a lot of money on that. So I know they want to use it.
Disclosure, breaking the system, wiping out some debt, and distracting us from the Epstein files. Make sure you guys hit up my bio for my guide for a societal collapse. And also, let me know what you guys think down below. In a way.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Now, in case you don't know, they saying Biden been dead since 2019 up in the Epstein files. Oh, yeah, it's there. You can go on the DOJ website, read it yourself.
We are America.
Look at this. It's right there on your screen. Page 6, Epstein Files, link in comments. Let me see. There go the link right there. Oh, no, that ain't the link. Hold on. Where your link at? But listen, I'm seeing a lot of creators react to this, and you're going to clearly see that there's two different people. There's two different Joe Bidens. Look at this guy right here on y'all screen. Look at this guy right here on your screen.
Second to none, and we own the finish line.
And then look at that guy.
We are.
Now, in case you think we conspiracy,
for host.
I want you to look closely here. Let's use this one. This is a better video. The eyes don't lie. And then this other Joe Biden always looked like he got a damn mask on. It literally, if you look at his face, you can see my arrow here. It looks like he's wearing a mask. One of those lifelike masks, but watch.
This, Governor, it's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be with you. First of all, thank you for doing this. And
those are two different people, bro.
looking forward to this, Mr. President.
Thank you, Joe.
Yo, those, let me see if I can full screen this. Those are two different people, bro. That's not the same guy. That is not the same guy. Well, that makes it worse putting it up like that, so. It's not the same guy. And there it goes in the files. There it goes in the files. It's actually in the Epstein email. And it suggests that the real Joe Biden was shot in 2019. It says the dude playing Biden ain't Biden. Real Biden was an evil, sick, angry man who abused children, including his own. That's an actor with an effing mask. That's what it says. I'm reading it. That's an actor with an effing mask. We've been over this 1,000 times. It's never going to change. Biden is shot. 2019 firing squad. They saying the real Biden got taken out by a firing squad. And see, I'm telling you, this is what they do. They play characters. We knew something was wrong. We were sitting there calling him Weekend and Bernie's and all that. We knew something was wrong, man. Again, conspiracy theorists, 10. The carnal world, 0. Because guess what? We was right again. I just thought that was interesting because we right again. Now, it's getting diabolical out here, y'all. It is getting absolutely diabolical. Y'all are not going to believe this. Apparently, y'all, they are hunting, playing Hunger Games with black folks. According to them Epstein files, they were playing Hunger Games. And we wonder where all these missing people be. We wonder what's going on and where the missing homeless people at. And I think we got some answers now. Let's just go on YouTube real quick. There's been a couple creators who covered this, and I want to react to some of their videos. Let's go to African Diaspora News Channel. Let's see. Yep. Peep this, y'all. Let's get that full screen.
We're here in Rio de Janeiro, and I guarantee amazing.
African families. What up, my beautiful African families? It's your man Theo E.J. Wilson, aka Brother Tej, with African Diaspora News. And the Epstein files have taken the world by storm. I was just in Gambia. They're talking about it there. After that, I went to Senegal. They're talking about it there. I went to London and Istanbul. That's why I was going. And they're talking about it there too.
You know, it's crazy. The whole world is really talking about the Epstein files a great deal, but Americans acting like it don't exist. They carrying on like life is normal.
The global international consequences, the fallout for the world order as we know it, is going to be catastrophic when it comes to the faith that we have in the system itself. And there's so many sordid, horrific details coming out. All these conspiracy theories are getting proven true. The adrenochrome and the drinking of the blood and the babies that's getting eaten. And of course, we know about the sex trafficking and the high elite status people who were on the island to abuse and partake of the rapaciousness with Epstein himself. But of all the things, there's something that's getting lost in the details. And that is the fact that we have evidence buried in these 3 million files that Jeffrey Epstein and his cohorts hunted black people on the island.
Mhm.
Now, this was something that has been suspected for quite some time, but now we got these receipts, and here's how they pan out. The example we're pulling from is an Epstein Files data set 9. And if you go to the Department of Justice website, justice.gov, and look up the Epstein library, you type this word in, and it comes up automatically. Now, you know, Pam Bondi and them are trying to take the files off the back end so we...
Speaking of Pam Bondi, a lot of people didn't know that Pam Bondi, as a teenage girl, a young teenage girl, was actually one of the models at the beauty pageant for Trump in Florida. So for the record, it just came out not too long ago that Pam Bondi may be a victim herself and has been around for a long time. So for the record, ladies and gentlemen, they're all connected, allegedly. So I just thought I'd point that out because people are probably wondering, why is Pam Bondi seem to be covering for these individuals? Why is Pam Bondi, you know, doing what she's doing? She's actually was one of the child teenage beauty pageant partakers. Yes, I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of stuff going on. There's photos of her as a young girl with Donald Trump.
We can't see them, but there's an old racial slur that I heard for black folks. If you type in moon crickets, I don't know where the term moon cricket came from, but if you type in moon cricket, you will find this email in the Epstein files. It's currently there right now as of the making of this video in data set 9.
Data set 9, they're calling us moon crickets. Now let's get the context of what a moon cricket is, according to these Epstein files.
Literally says, subject, snipe hunt is over, moon crickets in field bag. Date, Saturday, January 1st. And it said, guess what? They're N-words.
Wow, wow, wow. So they was out here allegedly playing Hunger Games against our people. And this is coming out on Black History Month, which I also believe that they put these things out purposely in its proper time. It's part of the programming. It is part of the agenda, and it is planned ahead of time.
Can't get more racist and clear than that. Snipe hunting, they called it. Hunting black folk down is snipe hunting. Moon cricket in field bag. Guess what? They're N-words.
They was out here snipe hunting our people. Now, where's all the MAGA folks? Because last time I checked, Trump was thick as thieves with Epstein. So much so, he made a Freudian slip the other day where he called it Jeffrey's Island instead of saying Jeffrey Epstein's Island. Now, the only reason you would say Jeffrey's island because you know him first name basis, and you were so used to calling it that in your former life because you was always on that damn island. We seen all the photos with him and Epstein. Far as we know, he was out there snipe hunting us too. sick and deranged stuff going on. Now it's all coming out.
Crickets in the field.
And let's get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Bag. I wonder what that field bag looked like. But that's not the only evidence. Let's dive into some more. This next example of Jeffrey Epstein and his cohorts hunting black people is a conspiracy theory that was proven correct about Epstein's connection with the Rothschild family. Now, a lot of people, if you've been in conspiracy land long enough, or you've been doing a deep dive on the roots of our central banking system, you know that the Rothschild family is family numero uno when it comes to the quote-unquote Illuminati bloodlines that control the world, right? All speculation up until the time that the Epstein files are released. Well, here we have an email between Jeffrey Epstein and a daughter of the Rothschild family.
You hear that? Jeffrey Epstein was locked in with the Rothschilds. In case y'all don't know, the Rothschilds are what we consider an elite family. They control a lot of finances, a lot of the resources, a lot of the oil, a lot of everything. Now, the Rothschilds, they're known for these elaborate costume parties where they would dress up as different animals. Back in the 80s, they were really widely known amongst politicians. They would go to these places. Some would even say that the movie Eyes Wide Shut and others was based on these parties that the Rothschilds was having. So, you know, these people are very demonic, very demonic. They will be wearing animal heads and drinking blood out of wine glasses. Like, these are some real disgusting, degenerate, satanic, Idumean, parasitical beings that just have a lot of resources, right? That's the Rothschilds, in case you don't know.
And apparently, she was doing some snipe hunting of her own. On October 24th, 2016, Ariane Rothschild writes Jeffrey Epstein and says, "Got it. Amazing old male and amazing hunt. My bankers should be careful."
Wow. Now, look, just listen to the dehumanization of our people. Ariana D. Rothschild is allegedly a participant in hunting an older black male, and the bankers should be grateful. Why? Because the bankers are in on it. It's a sport. Movies like Hostel, The Purge, all of this stuff is real. It's real, y'all. And we thinking it's a game. No. Everything that was put in these movies, the movie Get Out, all of it is real. Yep, The Purge 1, 2, and 3. And the director's cut. I'm telling you. Yeah, amazing old male is insane. But is Ariana D. Rothschild going to be arrested? No. Why? These people have diplomatic immunity. And they get to put these things out and pretty much laugh in our faces, like Devin just said in the chat. Eventually, people are going to get tired of this stuff, man. And it's going to cause some type of social cataclysm or some sort of uprising. Yeah, they was literally out here playing Squid Games. They were playing Squid Games with our people, allegedly.
Should be careful. You ever be wondering what happens to these homeless folks that suddenly disappear off the street? You ever wonder where the unhoused brothers go and sisters go? The elderly, the addicted, where do they end up? You know, there's been legislation passed in my neck of the woods that criminalized homelessness, right? And the police then have the opportunity to literally sweep them off the streets. Oh, this Epstein rabbit hole is bottomless. I mean, this is just one tiny little example of the inhumane depravity of these people in the upper crust of the world. It's pretty much not up for debate anymore that a cabal of wealthy psychopaths drink human blood, eat babies, rape girls, and hunt people. Like, this is the world that we're actually living in. I said, when I first saw this latest data dump of Epstein files, I was like, I gotta call every conspiracy homeboy and be like, I owe you one, bro. Apologies.
Yep. And I mean, we should be getting a lot of those phone calls, y'all, because, you know, I've been called every name under the book. I've been doing this for 10 years plus. I remember breaking down all the movies. I used to do it in that way and show you, like, look, this stuff is real. And people would say I was a crackpot, a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil's hatsman. Oh, all that person does is make up conspiracies. No, it's the reality. A lot of people in the world, they just have a cognitive dissonance. They don't want to live in reality. It's too scary for them. But look, the truth will set you free. And you got to understand that these Moloch worshipers, they're going to believe in what they're going to believe in regardless. And when we bring it out, we're just validating that the Most High God is real. If they can have their God and take over corporations and companies and businesses, and they can get these certain positions of power, then we can praise our God and we can let it be known that our God is going to destroy them and their God. We can let it be known that what they're doing is wicked and disgusting, and they will be punished for it. Yep. And look, the reason why we know these things is definitely because we stayed in that word. We knew about Moloch worship because it's written of in the scriptures that child sacrifice was going on. And we know it's nothing new under the sun. We read in the scriptures what these individuals would be about. Let's continue.
Crazy. It's like literally the only thing that is not in these, there's like two things that are mad conspiracy that ain't in the Epstein files at this point, that haven't shown up yet, because we don't know. And that's reptilians and aliens. I'm waiting on
That's because they are the reptilians and the aliens.
Reptilians and aliens. Everything else turned out to be true, which is crazy. And they might be turn out to be true later on. We never know. But here's the thing. I think that this is a beautiful time to be alive, because if you look at all the things that have been in the way of people getting what they need on this planet, when it comes to a livable wage and universal health care and the amount of money comparatively small that it takes to end world hunger, poverty, to stop these wars and these genocides, blowing up babies and all this stuff, what it's going to take is us exposing these people, knowing who they are, in finding some apparatus to bring them to justice. But first we have to know who was who and have a good enough reason to exert the kind of force necessary to bring them down. And there's no better reason than the violation and harm of children and the innocent. Racism is one of the many faults that they have as people. Like, I'm like,
yeah, racism, it should be known now. I mean, what we just seen in these files now, what I want to know is, what does all the black conservatives got to say about this? Because MAGA, Trump, he was thick as thieves with this guy, Epstein, and they were hunting us. Exactly, real 80s. What could they say now? All the YouTubers that claim that, you know, we're just over here pushing doom and gloom. But what they talking about now? That everything we were saying was the truth. The 100% absolute truth. What could they say? They can't say nothing. They can't say nothing. Y'all see the intro of the broadcast was calling those weirdos and freaks out last year. You look at the intro, just look at it. That stuff was coming out before. That intro was done before all this stuff started coming out. Why? Because we've been speaking it. And then you got stuff coming out on Michael Jordan right now. Michael Jordan won some type of lawsuit from NASCAR and they got him digging inside some white kid on camera, some type of ritual he got going on. I'm telling you, these people are all satanic. And that's right. Racism is a gateway to all of that stuff. Satanism, if you look at Satanism through history, Satanism is linked to racism. All of it is, listen, if they're against God's chosen people, the foundational Black Americans, the tribe of Judah, or any Afro. Now I'm gonna be specific when I say this, because the children of Israel are the quote unquote 12 tribes, but the Afro versions. The children of Israel, let me say that again. The children of Israel, the 12 tribes, are the 12 tribes. You look at the chart, but it's the Afro version of each one. The Afro version. So just so that we're clear about that, Latinas, Afro-Latinas would be Israelites. Cubans, an Afro-Cuban. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these are the people the white supremacists hate. The white supremacists hate God's chosen people. That's why they want to hunt, quote unquote, N-words. Just so that we clear, the Aboriginal people.
It would be weird if you were into like eating babies and not also kind of racist. Like,
exactly. You eating babies, you racist. It'd be weird if you sacrifice the Moloch, but you don't hate, but you love black people. That's weird. It'd be weird if you a PDF file and you on the island taking advantage of young ones, but you pro-black. No, that don't match. The weirdos and freaks are racist. The weirdos and freaks wear MAGA hats. The weirdos and freaks are racist. They're wearing the MAGA hats. Tracy Henry, thank you for the support. I appreciate it.
Like, it would be crazy if Jeffrey Epstein was like, yeah, I'll violate teenage girls and I'll eat me some babies, but I am all about reparations for Black Americans.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You know, if you hate, listen, if you hate the Most High's people, you liable to just venture off into all manners of evil. How could you hate us? We built every great dynasty, every great nation, every great kingdom. And then we were merciful enough and gracious and forgiving enough to still teach you our ways, teach you survival. If you hate us, you of the devil. If you hate these here melanated people, you're of the devil. You are the damn devil. And to hell you shall go. Bad riddance to you if you hate the people who built every great nation, from ancient Assyria, ancient Babylon, ancient Rome, whose sweat equity made these places possible. America, who built everything and taught you. When the non-indigenous people came over here, you know, Christopher Columbus came over here. If we didn't teach them how to survive, they would have self-destructed. They would have self-destructed. So how could you be over here and hate us? How could you hate something that you emulate? How could you hate something that you copy? How could you hate something that has such a major impact on the global stage where we set all the trends? You get on TikTok right now, what you see up on TikTok? Everybody doing black dances. How could you hate the people who gave you flavor? Yep, that's right. And they still hanging us because we look like Christ. They just hung a black man up in Marietta. They got very And down here in Georgia, in Marietta, it got very little news coverage. Very little news coverage.
That would be the bizarre thing. It's not bizarre that somebody that depraved also participated and enabled the hunting of black people. So we at the African Diaspora News Channel will be keeping our eye on this situation, as I know that you will. But most importantly, we need you to keep your eye on us as well. And you could do that by downloading our app. Ain't none but, what is that, $9.99 a month, 13 cents a day. You can't afford not to download that app, especially the way that they are dialing down our algorithm here on YouTube with the...
All right. I'm telling y'all. I'm going to look at one more news source about this hunting situation because there's more sources on it to validate what's going on with them hunting us. And so I want to go there real quick. Because I'm telling you, ain't nothing new under the sun. They've been doing this. They've been hunting us. They're even hunting us when they're not doing it with guns. They're doing it with biochemical warfare to destroy the melanin or making biochemical weaponry that target the melanin. And so there's no surprise that these fools was out here playing Hunger Games with us. I'm not surprised. Let's hold on real quick. Let's go into another source about this, and we're going to just skim through this one. Because, I mean, it's a lot darker than we thought it was, y'all. It's a lot darker than we thought it was. Seriously. How many of y'all knew that when the Epstein files came out, we was going to be seeing this? How many you all knew we would see this, man? Oh, let me shout out Roger. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. It says, can we get the chat to give a shout out over the stream to any of all the OGs from the truth community? Bill Cooper, David Icke, and YouTubers like Call for an Uprising, Tally for God, Face Like the Sun, Pastor Charles Lawson. I don't know all these people, but I do know Bill Cooper, David Icke, and Call for an Uprising. I have to look up the other people, but shout out to those people. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters who lost platforms. The Most High blessed me with a little bit of balance where I didn't lose a platform, because the nucleus of my channel is more so a motivational channel. But I've been bringing this out just as long as they have. And I did lose some videos. I did lose some content. I lost hundreds of videos. But I was able to maintain a channel. So, and some of the times I just moved in wisdom and removed stuff because I already knew it was before its time. And I knew that it was going to cost me my platform. So, you know, I thank the Most High that I was able to keep this platform where we can still talk about this stuff. And now that it's coming out, it's here now. So what could they do to us? I mean, it's all out. Everybody's talking about it. At least everybody in the truth community is talking about it. And they can't take us all out. They can't get us all. But let's go.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. I already know this is going to get extremely dark. I had to come back because this video popped up after I reacted to that other one about the Wayfarer. Shout out to Matt Cullen for the video. I'll leave this in the description again for you guys to check out more and even subscribe. Now, this title here says, Human Hunting, the Darkest Epstein Files Rumor Explained. Whoo-wee, man. It just make you think of like the Hunger Games and all of those other movies that come out where, what was that show? Dexter. What was that guy who was, you know, taking people, then he was taking those girls and then making them run, and then he would come after them.
Yeah, I forgot what movie that was. I don't think that was Dexter, but there was a movie like that where they would show you how they would hunt people. They'd give them a head start, and then they start bringing the sniper rifles out. Yep, shout out to Pastor Darby too. He had a Pastor Stephen Darby. Rest in peace to Pastor Stephen Darby. He was bringing out a lot as well. You know, these are some of the people who laid the foundation for platforms such as mine. And as of late, they try to call my channel a conspiracy channel as if that's some type of insult. I don't know what they would call it now when we know everything is true, but shout out to those who laid the foundation.
We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
The most dangerous game, as they referred to it, was a matter of human hunting.
What if the most disturbing Epstein revelations weren't about money or blackmail, but about what him and his friends call recreational sports?
Some clients own their own island or a big piece of land. They would buy us just to hunt us.
They would buy them just to hunt them. So there's firsthand testimony about these damn Hunger Games that they was out here playing on this island.
Follow the patterns, the questions stop being if and becomes how long has it been happening?
And then when they give the go, they release the kids, that's when the elite will go through the woods and...
Yep, Real 80 says the Ice-T movie where he is hunted is Surviving the Game, 1994. Yep, we got to check that out, y'all.
Start hunting for them.
In this video, we are going to look at the emails and the long circulating rumors that some of the most powerful people in the world may have been participating in something darker than we could have ever imagined. Human hunting, and not framed as a crime, but as a sport.
Yo.
There is no confirmed evidence that Jeffrey Epstein or anyone in his circle has hunted people. We will go over all of the emails that I found in this video, and trust me, there are a lot. And we will talk about what the theories are and what could be happening.
Yep, and we just gonna call them theories for now, but we're gonna say allegedly, but it sure looks that way. And we're gonna skim through this. This video is like 16 minutes. We're not gonna go through the whole thing. We're just gonna go through certain parts.
This is given rifles and
with money and really no conscience allegedly paid for what prosecutors are now calling sniper safaris. These accusations say that men were guided to these sniper positions overlooking Sarajevo, given rifles, and allowed to fire at random civilians below.
See, these are the real super predators. These are the real super predators right here. This is the wicked Idumeans. These are the Vikings. These are the damn, these are the maniacs. They just murk random people for sport. These are the bloodthirsty beasts.
Given rifles and allowed, y'all. Do you know how easily that could happen?
Yeah, a lot of y'all talking about that Ice-T movie. Now I got to go see that because I never seen that one. 1994, Surviving the Game. I'm going to check that movie out, y'all. But yeah, these are the real psychopaths right here. They've been on demon time for a while now.
Happen today. This is insane, man. That's why I said, when I be talking about things get deep and the powerful people are like the stuff that they may be involved in, like this is what I be talking about. All that other stuff is like surface level.
Wealthy aristocrat who explains that hunting animals has lost its thrill for him, and what excites him now is hunting humans.
That's how it is. They go from hunting animals to like, you know what? We're going to get more of a thrill seeing people get hunted. Now, what's the purpose of that? They look at it like, since they eating people anyway, just like they hunt animals, we hunt animals for game. We hunt animals so we can eat. You hunting a deer so you can eat. I don't even see the point of killing an animal that you're not going to eat. But since these people are cannibals, they like, look, we're going to stalk our prey and do what it do. These are the real barbarians, man.
Because they understand fear, because they know what's happening, and because the chase itself becomes part of the game. I've started going through the Epstein emails. One word kept showing up repeatedly. Hunting. Not once, not twice, but across multiple years. So let's get into them. There are so many, but I pulled the ones that I felt like raised the most questions in my mind. Here are some that could potentially be passed off as just hunting animals. This person, redacted. I don't know what.
I feel like you know when you see the stuff in the movies or shows, and then you hear stories and you go, damn. You know, we talk about civil. Imagine he
was just hunting animals. This person, redacted. I don't know why it's redacted if it's innocent, but it's redacted to Jeffrey saying, going to mean Lana's party now to hunt, smiley face. Side note, they always wrote so improperly. It's so interesting how the rich don't know how to write. Also texted Eunuch, if he is there, I can go alone, getting ready for the hunt. This one is from a man named Todd Meister to Jeffrey saying, back Thursday late, redacted, and I can go out Friday or Saturday. Then Jeffrey wrote,
this is how these people party, y'all. This is how they had a good time. This is what tickled they damn fancy. These sick bastards was playing Hunger Games with people. This is what got them through the night. With the billions of dollars that they got in their spare time, this is how they thrill-seeked.
back. When are you back in New York? You should go out at night hunting with redacted. Someone wrote to Jeffrey, good hunting. Jeffrey wrote back, you're welcome to come this weekend. If not, I wish you a happy Easter and good hunting. Jeffrey wrote to a man named Martin Nowak, always hunting, ... But then it starts to get much darker. And here's an email from someone named Marvin Carson, and the subject is my hunting dream come true. I actually typed in the YouTube link myself because I wanted to check out what this video was.
Wow, wow, wow. Hebrew Care, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And y'all make sure y'all support HebrewCare.com as well, y'all. It says, thank you, Brother Nubreed, for never giving up. We truly appreciate all the continuous support you give. Also reading them scriptures. Much love, brother. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank y'all for sharing them. Some days I might not have all my precepts and scriptures ready, and it is very refreshing when I can look in the chat and see the scriptures, especially when they right on point and right on time. So I appreciate y'all participating in that way. And thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Now, this last email, this person says, their hunting dream come true. Listen to this.
Just looks like a man hunting a deer. Looks pretty normal.
Now, what kind of commercial is this? What kind of Christmas commercial is this? Now, what does that look like? What are they trying to show us? Now, we know Christmas is the time for sacrifice. We know that during the Christmas holiday, what they into. You know, this is Esau right here. This is them. Listen, this is them Edomites. This is what the tabernacles of Edom was into. This is, listen, this is the paganism they into. This is the heart of white supremacy. What you're looking at is the heart of white supremacy. This is white supremacy to its core, what you're witnessing. Let's go.
kind of eerie that it's supposedly the reindeer of Santa Claus, especially when they're talking about the kids of it all and Santa Claus and Christmas. It all just kind of ties in this really weird, eerie way. Here is one from Jeffrey Epstein to a man named Boris. He wrote, "True, although Boom Boom does not get that busy as it was that night, they keep it on the emptier side. They usually get you catched to your door on a silver platter. Not always, but sometimes there is some thrill in the process itself. It becomes difficult because they talk in code to try to get around flagging the system."
Yeah, I was going to say that. They bring to your door on a platter and consider.
Was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods. I was then hunted by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton.
Wow.
I really don't understand it.
Do you hear this? She said she was hunted by George Bush, Bill Clinton, and Dick Cheney. And we know Dick Cheney was trigger happy out there. Didn't he get, am I wrong, or did Dick Cheney was an evil bastard for one? If you know anything about Dick Cheney, that dude definitely, he got Beelzebub tendencies. Even the area where Dick Cheney lives, it's a lot of weird occurrences that happen. And Dick Cheney, he didn't took so many people's organs and took his old ass organs out and swapped them with other people's organs. Man, I'm telling you, that Dick Cheney is an MFer. But listen to what this lady says, y'all, and I believe her. I don't think she's lying. All of this, hey, listen, all the discernment in me, I don't think this lady's lying. I don't think she's lying. Gladiator, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it, my brother. Who is this? Shane Irva, thank you as well for the support. I appreciate you. Says for all the content you made and will continue to make. Thank you. You always right on time with the truth, brother. May the Most High continue to bless you and your family. Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods. I was then hunted.
You were stripped of her clothes and turned loose in the woods.
By George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton.
Wow.
I really don't understand it, except for the fact that they found great pleasure in this form of human hunting.
Okay, here is an email exchange with a woman named Arian Rothschild.
Now, she said this before these files came out. Nobody believed this lady. Nobody believed her.
Who's a Rothschild by air, and she wrote, "Got it, amazing old man and amazing hunt. My bankers should be careful." Jeffrey wrote back, "Great photo." Then she wrote back,
This was back in 2016.
"Thanks, thrilling hunt."
Thrilling hunt. This is what they do for thrills, man. They got a kink. This is what the weirdos and freaks are doing. Listen, they have a fetish. They have a fetish for spilling innocent blood. They got a fetish to capitalize off fear. They got a fetish to thrive off of fear and death.
So at the hunting parties, they'd have all these expendable children outside in the woods, and usually they have holding grounds, like a tunnel system or something underground where they hold the kids in cages until the time of the hunt. And
right, and they always make them people look like they insane and crazy. They always do smear campaigns on them, just like they did Isaac Cappy. They always make it seem like something wrong with these people for calling this stuff out. And then when the truth come out, everybody be on mute. Why is it all the people who are self-righteous, all the people who claim they of the Most High, why they get silent when this stuff come out? All of the fake Christians, all the Christian nationalists, I should say. When these things are coming out, why all the Christian nationalists who be Bible thumping in these churches, why do they get silent when all this come out? When you find out your presidents and politicians are the American psychos. She said they had expendable children come out of cages to just run through these woods. Are y'all hearing this?
At the hunt, and the hunt usually happens later, once it's dark outside. They'll kind of make a perimeter, which is pretty large, of these woods, and they'll station the different elite people around the perimeter. And then when they give the go, they release the kids, and the kids are told.
Look, yeah, that's what it was with Dick Cheney. I remember that. Dick Cheney hunting on February 11th, 2006. The United States Vice President Dick Cheney shot Harry Winnington, a then 78-year-old Texas attorney, with a 28-gauge Perazzi shotgun. Yeah, and they covered it up. They made it seem like it was a hunting accident, a hunting mistake. Wasn't no damn mistake. You know how hard it is to kill one of your friends or buddies that you hunting with while hunting? That's not something that happens. Quasar, thank you for the support. Says, thanks for speaking the word of God in these times we're in. I love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Just to run, to hide. And that's when the elite will go through the woods and start hunting for them.
This is what I was talking about, because I had said something about like what's going on with ICE, how you have people out the whole situation.
Catch them. A lot of times they will first sex them, and then they'll kill them.
This is a slight tangent from the idea of hunting, but this woman also sent this email to Jeffrey Epstein, which I felt like was very bizarre. Jeffrey Epstein sent her an email that's a link to a Time article about George H.W. Bush and his groping allegations, and she wrote back, "Amazing, George. Amazing, George." Then I also saw this one where her and Jeffrey are talking about where they want to have dinner at, and he wrote back, "Your choice. My house has no distraction. Your house has better cheese," which I think we're all starting to piece together that cheese is a code word. There's like cream cheese, there's pizza, there's all these code words. There's no allegation that she was involved in Epstein's crimes at all. And these are the darkest emails that I found. And they are very, very scary and depressing and suspicious. Jeffrey to a man named Mortimer Zuckerman. How is the girl hunting? Then redacted to redacted. Surprise, surprise.
How is the girl hunting? Wow.
Surprise. Gilligan, I didn't get your email. Did you talk to Jane? Is everything okay? Can we talk about the treasure hunt for girls on the island? We will be there on January 4th.
Yo, this stuff is repulsive. I'm not even gonna lie. It's difficult to stomach this type of material, man. But it's the truth, and this is what these devils and demons was actually doing, man. And in America, you don't really see enough public outrage about this.
Give me your private phone number. Do you miss me yet? Love, love. Can we talk about the treasure hunt on the girls on the island? This is the worst one. The subject is snipe hunt is over, moon crickets in field bag. And the contents that are in the email read, guess what? They're N-words.
N-words. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. This is what happens when you put these satanic Edomites on an island by themselves. This is what they do. You put them on an island by themselves, and they can't help but to just throw out all inhibitions and go absolutely crazy.
Bird. Yeah. This person tweeted, after Epstein, you're free to wonder, is it at all possible that our beloved traditional fairy tales about wolves, witches, and vampires hunting, eating, drinking virgins and Christians in forests, lodges and castles, mostly emerging in European heartlands, are actually twisted survivor witness accounts from our deep past, spun into ridiculous caricatures to discredit them, and seeded widely as soft disclosure so that similar future testimonies sound like, well, fairy tales? You know what makes me so angry, and one of the biggest problems about these files being released? The redaction of the names. And by not letting the public see with our own eyes, we're left doing...
Right. Instead of these individuals being persecuted, prosecuted to the highest extent of the law, publicly executing them. That's what I personally feel. If y'all agree with me, show a ones in chat. If you don't, it's okay. I think right here, we need to really get into some Old Testament type of stuff, man, because these people they really don't deserve breath. But I know that the Most High is going to be the ultimate judge. But when I see this kind of stuff and they redact the names, why are they even putting the information out there? We see who's in. This is crazy to me because the DOJ know who's involved. You see that collection of groups, that group of names right there, ladies and gentlemen, the DOJ knows exactly who was involved in hunting people for sport, innocent people who probably got snatched off their damn front doorstep, people who was checking their mailbox, children that was on missing milk cartons. And they know who these people are. And they're still in government. They're still ruling. We're still paying. Let me put it this way. We're still paying taxes to these people. Our tax dollars are still going to these individuals. And to add insult to injury, Epstein's still alive. Epstein allegedly is still alive up in Israel, living his best life. So why are they putting this out here? Karmatic deck. They got to put it out there. They got to tell what they're doing. That's why the Most High got to judge these individuals. He's got to destroy them.
What investigators should be doing. We're analyzing every word, every phrase, every code. Jerky, cream cheese, hunting. Because when the information is incomplete, people don't stop asking questions. We all start filling in the gaps, and frankly, we should be. If powerful people aren't being held publicly accountable, the public is going to try to hold them accountable ourselves. Take this email referencing a 9-year-old Brazilian child. The email is from, not shown, to Jeffrey. New Brazilian just arrived, sexy and cute, 9 years old. We see that the emails exist. We see the writing, we know what they're talking about, but we're not able to see who wrote them. Why are they redacting the names of these people? In almost any other context, in any other situation, these emails would launch a full-on investigation. But here, not only is no one publicly charged, we don't even know who they are because their emails are redacted. You know, I'm not saying with 100% certainty that they are hunting people or that cream cheese means this or pizza means that. But if the goal was transparency like they said, redactions like this only deepen our suspicion. Until the full truth is visible, not filtered, not protected, these questions won't go away, and they shouldn't. Thank you for watching today's video. If you have any other video ideas you'd like to see me dive into next, especially revolving Epstein.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. And, you know, I'm going to say this. Vengeance is the Lord's. Now, of course, we want these individuals dealt with. We want them dealt with. We truly do. But I want to say, I don't believe they're ever going to give the names, but I do believe that the Most High is going to judge them soon. I believe that we're in those days. We're in probably the final hour, man. And when you see these things coming out as common knowledge, when they're just being so forthright and outgoing with what they're doing, even though they're not getting accountable, being held accountable, the fact that they're putting it out there, it just shows how much closer we are to seeing these individuals be judged. And it's going to go down. Now, I want to say this, man. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining. It's always an honor and a blessing building with y'all. Of course, you know, we're going to stay in the faith. We're going to continue to walk upright. We're not going to let this stuff make us disheartened in any way. Even though it is perplexing, it's tough to deal with it. Sometimes it's tough to digest, but we're not going to let it go. We're not going to let these files go. We're going to keep on pushing the truth. And I want everybody to share this video everywhere. Support the Cashapp. Nubreed Global Truth is my Cashapp, just like it's spelled on the channel. Nubreed Global truth. All of y'all support is appreciated, and it goes towards the work. So I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all be blessed out there. More material is coming. I will be chopping it up with y'all real soon. If you're new to the platform, make sure you hit subscribe. And after the stream ends, if you could just do me a solid and let me know what you thought about the material at the bottom of the comment section. The more comments, the more traffic that's going to be drawn, even though y'all was more than active in the chat. But we got to go above and beyond. We got to go above and beyond. Just lay that last comment. Even though you commented, you was connecting. After the stream, you got to comment too, just so we can make sure it gets pushed, right? But one love to y'all. Thank y'all for joining. More material coming. Y'all be blessed. Peace.